So a biscuit is a cookie and a scone is a biscuit. Hey guys, it's Michaela and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be the differences between living in the US versus the UK from an American's point of view. So I have been living here in the UK for about 1.5 years now, and I will be leaving in April to move back home to the US, and that'll be my 2-year mark. So if you haven't seen my other videos and you're wondering why I am living out here, it is because I'm stationed in the Air Force and this was my assignment. So let's get into the differences. The first thing is a big one, and that is driving on the left-hand side. It's pretty self-explanatory how weird that is coming from the US, so I'm not gonna go into a long tangent about it. But my only advice is to study the street signs and the street laws before you plan on driving, if you do plan on driving while you're over here. Because you don't wanna risk your life or somebody else's life by not knowing the different street signs, like going on a one-way. So there's all these different things that you just want to make sure that you know before driving. Number 2 is the drinking and gambling age. It is 18 in Europe, and well, not all of Europe. Iceland, it's 20 years old. But in England, I'll just be specific, in England, it is 18. And that also includes if you were on a military base at 18. Yeah, a lot of people didn't believe me when I got stationed here right from tech school. They were like, oh, you're not gonna be able to drink, it's a US base. And I was like, no, we follow the laws of the host nation. So because the drinking age in the UK is 18, the US base follows that as well. So if you are stationed here, you are able to buy and drink alcohol on base, no problem. The next thing, number 3, is traveling. Woo! Traveling is my favorite thing ever. I absolutely love traveling, and I was pretty disappointed that I didn't get to go a lot of places this year, but honestly, safety for myself and others was my #1 priority, so I only went to 2 places. One of those was for official travel, and the other was pre-COVID-19. So, yeah. Anyway. Travel is super cheap to do in Europe. There's a lot of options on how to do it, but my preferred method is flying, and it is super, super cheap to do. If you go on sites like skyscanner.com or Google Flights, you can get flights for like $40, $50 round trip. And if you really budget, you can literally go to Barcelona for a couple $100, you know, southern France, Monaco, all these other places that I did get to go to and had a blast. So if you do come out here to the UK, definitely travel. It is so worth it. Europe is beautiful. And I'm looking at notes just so I don't like get off track. The next thing is outlets. So the outlets look different in the UK than in America, and the voltage is also different. So the voltage is 220 volts, and in America it is 110. So basically what that means is there's certain things that aren't going to be compatible if you plug them into a UK outlet. I learned that the hard way by plugging an American blender into a converter, and it almost started a fire in my kitchen. Because when you're using more high-powered things like a blender, a hair dryer, a TV, you need a step-down converter so it doesn't ruin and burn out your appliance, because the voltage here is a lot higher. It's pretty much double, and it actually is double what it is in America. So just make sure that if you are moving here that you get a step-down converter, or basically just buy only UK electronics. The next thing is the weather. So the weather here isn't as bad as people probably think. It definitely is gloomy, don't get me wrong, and it does rain a lot. But we have blue skies too, and there are some really nice days, especially in spring and summer. It was actually like clear outside today, and it's December, and it was sunny. So that was nice change of pace. But yeah, it's not like a torrential downpour rain either. It's more just like a constant drizzle almost. Think like Seattle. I've never been to Seattle, but I've seen things of Seattle. So that's the closest thing I would probably compare it to in the US. But we do have good days in England. It's definitely not my favorite weather. I'm from Florida, so I prefer the sunshine. The next thing is the air conditioning. So most of the homes in the UK don't have air conditioning, and for a majority of the year it's fine because it's in the 70s or the 50s or the 30s or sometimes the 20s. So you don't need air, and all the homes have radiators to have heat. So that's cool, except in the summer, probably 2 months, when it gets really hot, especially with climate change. So it was miserable. July was miserable. It got up to 100 degrees here one day and there's no air. And there's no ceiling fans in my house, or pretty much any of the houses I've seen. And it just made it really miserable. So I had a lot of, like standing fans and kept my windows open, but a lot of the houses here don't have screens either. So what I did was I bought screens on Amazon, where they were like customizable screens. It was about £5, and it's Velcro strips. You cut them out, you paste them onto the window, and then it's like a mesh material that you just stick onto the Velcro. So it keeps the spiders out. There are a fair amount of spiders here. Good thing is there's no alligators, so you don't have to worry about that. Or I don't think there's poisonous or venomous snakes, so that's good. But there are a lot of spiders. I don't know if those are poisonous or venomous, whatever word it is. Not really sure, but I don't like spiders. The next thing is getting a VPN. So a VPN, I'll explain it in my own words, is where your server on your computer or your Wi-Fi thinks that you're in a different location than you actually are. So if you are over here in the UK, you are not able to get American Netflix or Hulu or certain news sites and things like that because you are in a different country, and it recognizes that. So if you get a VPN, you can set it to put as the US, and you'll be able to get the American Netflix, Hulu, and the sites that you want to access. So that was pretty necessary for me, only because I love Hulu. I am addicted to cooking competition shows. I love Chopped and Food Network Star and Holiday Baking Championship, Supermarket Stakeout, Guys Grocery Games, literally all of them. I am not joking. I love the Food Network. Ask my boyfriend, it's pretty much one of the only things I watch on TV, and it just brings me joy. The next thing is cell phones. So if you are planning on being here for, I would say, 2 weeks or more, get a SIM card while you're over here. And check with your cell phone company back home about international service, because the last thing you want is to move here or visit here and be stuck with a giant, huge bill when you get back to the US. So I know for me, when I came over here, I checked with AT&T and it was $10 a day for international unlimited, and that gets really expensive. If I would have paid $10 a day for a year and a half, that would have been astronomically, insane. So you want to get a SIM card, which is super easy to do. You go to the Vodafone store and you literally ask for a SIM card, and it's like 15 or 20 pounds, which is the equivalent to like 20 or 25 US dollars. So that allows you to call, text. It will give you a new phone number, which is longer in length in the UK than in America. So there's little differences like that. Some other differences that I noticed are a biscuit in the UK actually means a cookie, and an American biscuit, like, in the South, is called a scone. So a biscuit is a cookie and a scone is a biscuit. So there are small differences like that. Obviously, some of the super common ones like chips means French fries and crisps mean potato chips. The boot of a car is the trunk of a car. There's just a lot of different words that they use. Example, they don't say restroom or bathroom. It is either the loo or the toilets. So there's just little things you get used to while being over here. When people say thank you, they say cheers. I should have said that in an accent, but I didn't want to embarrass myself, even though that was a little embarrassing. But yeah, when they say thank you, they're just like cheers, cheers. So that's a common thing. Yeah, even though they speak English, the culture is very different over here and there are just a lot of differences in general. So I hope this made sense and I hope you guys learned a little something today. I'm super new to the whole YouTube thing. I only have about 5 videos on my channel right now, so please feel free to comment below with some content you guys want. If you even watched all of this video, which probably not, but if you did, feel free to comment below some suggestions of what you guys would want. If you want to know the countries I've been to, blah, 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 things like that. So yeah, thank you guys for watching.